Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 87, Chapter 46, Betrayal. "Wake up!" a woman ordered, followed by a hard slap to the face. Willow's eyes popped open even as she tried to get away from her unknown attacker, only to find she couldn't move or speak. "About time! Thought you'd sleep all day," Queen Sylvan rasped, stepping back a few steps. "Val, where are you?" Willow asked, unable to see him in this dungeon cell she was in. "Behind you. Don't try calling for me. She's chained me to the wall." "We should kill her," Lord Alvis said, coming to stand next to Queen Silverland. "No," Queen Silverland said. "This girl has cost me too much to simply kill her now. I want to see her suffer." "But what if they come for her? The boy said one of them could transport himself, and others, long distances in an instant." "Then have our remaining men on the lookout for them, and bring the little spy in here. I want her to see her betrayer. It also wouldn't hurt for him to further prove his loyalty to us." Lord Alvis went to the door of the dungeon and pounded on it. Queen Silverland stepped in front of Willow's view and put a hand on her chin, forcing their eyes to meet. "Your attention should be on me." Her hand tightened on Willow's chin, her nails dug into her flesh. "The only reason you are alive is because you are still useful to me. Perhaps if you're good and the little spy is useful, I'll give him to you. I hear men scorned are worse than women who are scorned." Footsteps came toward them, and Queen Silverland let go of Willow with a vicious jerk. "Come here, spy. Let the girl see who has delivered her into my hands." Sigurd stepped forward, a hard, unreadable look on his face. "You!" Willow tried to yell, but her word came out muffled. "I think it's safe to take the gag off," Queen Silverland said. "Alvis, take it off. Be sure to keep your fingers from her mouth. I bet she'd try to bite you like the rabid animal she is." Alvis moved behind her and undid the gag, allowing Willow to speak for the first time since she'd been captured. "Sigurd, what's going on?" "You want to know what's going on, girl?" Alvis asked, coming before her again. "Your little boyfriend got a better offer." "Ex-boyfriend," Sigurd said, the words spitting like venom from him. "She dumped me for a servant." "Tisk, tisk, tisk," Alvis said. "You shouldn't use men, toss them aside, and then expect them to be loyal." "Sigurd, why are you doing this? Help me." "I don't think so, girl," Queen Silverland said. "See, your little boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, has been working for us for quite a while now. Why would he help you when he's about to be rewarded for all his hard work?" "She's lying! Sigurd, tell her she's lying!" Willow fought against her bindings, but they wouldn't budge. "She's not." If you must know, Alva said, his eyes full of glee at Willow's pain, he's been working with us since I captured you in Nightcutter. In exchange for me not torturing him, and the bounty reward for your capture, he's been supplying us with information about what you've been doing. Such a good boy he is, too. His information was ever so helpful. Along with our other spy, Kalina, my little kitten, not one move you've made has been unknown to us. But you've lost, Willow yelled, ignoring for now the fact that Kalina had also been working for these two. You are finished. Your men are dead and scattered. What will killing or hurting me prove? I have not lost, and I am not finished, little girl. I have more troops and more supporters, and with you dead, that impostor king will have lost a very valuable asset. He doesn't stand a chance without you, Queen Silverland said. Enough of this talking. Now is the time for action. I think the boy should have the first honors. She did use him and toss him to the side. A brilliant idea, Alva said, giving Sigurd a sword. Remember, keep her alive. For now, at least. We might let you kill her later. Sigurd nodded and turned to face her. Sigurd, don't. Please, please, Willow pleaded. We're friends. I saved your life. You betrayed me the second you chose that boy over me, he said, swiping the sword before her. The sword didn't touch her, but just hearing the wind as the blade passed in front of her was enough to scare her. Alvis and Queen Silverland laughed as Willow pushed herself back into the chair, trying to get as far away from it as she could. Not that I actually loved you, he said, an evil smile now on his face. Who could love such a nobody? But I knew that if I could get your love, you and your powers would be putty in my hands. I'd be in control, and you'd do anything I wanted because of your weak love for me. He swiped the sword again, this time closer to her. If he did it again, he'd cut her with the sword. But then you started having feelings for Hawk and got confused. Then you chose him. Anger clouded his face as he lifted the sword once again. This is what you get for betraying me. As the sword started down, a sudden commotion came from outside the cell. Hearing the yells and the clash of swords, Sigurd turned around, the sword still up in striking position. Willow pushed her chair back, trying to get as far from Sigurd and his sword as possible. The chair began to fall back as the door opened and men ran in. Before the chair could hit the floor, someone caught her. Willow was pulled back, away from the combat which filled the room. Willow craned her head back, trying to see who'd caught her. Then she saw Hawk's beautiful face, and relief went through her. She was in safe hands. When they were finally out of the field of battle, Hawk hurriedly undid her bindings, freeing her from the chair. Val! Get Val! Willow yelled over the sounds of battle. Within a second, Val was no longer chained against the wall, but in Hawk's hand. Grabbing him, Willow turned to the combatants, ready to attack and kill. The room, large for what one normally thought of when they thought of a dungeon, was now packed with people fighting. Sigurd squared off with one of Samuel's men by the door. Next to him was Alvis, who skillfully fought against Samuel. Lastly, and closest to her, Queen Silverland fought Aluak. Hawk and Willow watched the couples exchange blows, waiting for the opportunity to help where they could. Then the man fighting Sigurd cried out in pain and fell to his knees, holding his stomach as blood stained his hands. Before she could move, Hawk ran and deflected Sigurd's killing blow. She watched as they battled each other to the death this time, unlike all the other practice fights she's witnessed between the two of them. Then another cry got her attention. This time it was Aluak, who was staggering back, his sword on the floor, while Queen Silverland pounced toward him. Deflecting her blow with Val, Willow started to fight Queen Silverland, aided after a minute by Aluak. The queen was a very skilled swordswoman, more skilled than Willow would have believed possible. Queen Silverland deflected their blows and returned them with more strength than her body should have been able to produce. Willow and Aluak weaved around each other, both trying to land the blow that would stop her for once and for all. A scream, a horrible death keel, echoed throughout the dungeon, drawing Willow's attention away from the battle. She saw Hawk's sword slide out of Sigurd's belly as Sigurd dropped his sword. Then, still yelling, Sigurd fell to the floor, cradling his bleeding wound. As Willow took in the horrific sight of her ex-friend dying before her eyes, Queen Silverland took advantage of her momentary distraction. Her sword struck Willow's arm, cutting into her skin. The pain radiated down her arm, and Willow struck out at Queen Silverland's hand, wanting to inflict some pain of her own. The second Val struck Queen Silverland's wrist. Her hand popped open, releasing the sword into the air. Willow snatched the sword up and brought it down upon the Queen, slicing into her body. You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't, just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude. Be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.colbyjack.net. That's shop.colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped into hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.